All right. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing his truth and sincerity. Bahashim Rakah Kodash. All right. And as brothers probably already know, this Black Identity Extremism report, all right, came out, okay, by these devils, all right, the so-called white man Esau, these Edomites. They basically, say that there's groups that are identifying with, their identity being black, which black is just a color, all right? And black means devoid of light. So, they want to basically say that the Israelites are a black identity extremist group, okay? So I'm going to run this video and I'm going to bring some scriptures out, all right, and put my spiritual take on it. Lord, will it be edifying?
The gentlewoman from California, Ms. Bass, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. According to an August 17th FBI intelligence assessment titled Black Identity Extremists Likely Motivated to Target Law Enforcement Officers, quote, it is very likely that black identity extremists' perceptions of police.
Black identity extremists, okay, that could be anybody, any group, and we know that by this coming out that Esau has heard, okay, that the blacks, Latinos, and the Native Americans, which are the biblical Israelites, are on their feet preaching the downfall of Esau and his kingdom, all right, but they're gonna of course they got to bring out this Black Identity Extremist report, okay, to report on what we're doing and to make it, put a negative light on what we're doing, okay? But it's all through the Spirit. Really what he wants to do is he wants to, kick off his martial law, all right, target the elect and, put them in martial law camps and, he wants to, do his new world order, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and continue to play it.
Brutality against African Americans spurred an increase in retaliatory violence. So I've tried to get to the bottom of where this report came from, who did it, what its status is. I've asked Attorney General Sessions, I've asked Director Wray, and so now I want to ask you, did you order the FBI to conduct this assessment?
Sorry, what was the date?
August 2017, August of this year.
No, I did not.
Do you know who authored the report? Are you familiar with the report?
Not familiar with the report. I'm familiar with the general issue.
And so maybe you could talk a little bit about the general issue,
Yes.
in particular, when the FBI began tracking black identity extremism.
I think it's important for me to explain, Congresswoman, that the FBI does not make a determination with regard to domestic groups to investigate them based upon their First Amendment views or their affiliation. It bases its decisions on evidence of a propensity to violence. So with regard to members of...
Right, so supposedly it's not, they're not targeting anybody who's exercising the First Amendment, all right? And the First Amendment is what? Free speech. They're targeting people on their propensity to have violence. So they think that we're violent, because really they're aiming it at us, man. It says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of people peacefully, peaceably to assemble. All right. So they're saying that, we can assemble and we can, exercise our right to freedom of speech. But what they're saying is that we cannot, black extremist groups, are have a propensity to violence, which is really is an accusation. It's a wrong accusation, man. It's a false accusation at that. Let's get into the scriptures. This is if I can get my internet to work. It's the book of Revelation 12 and 10. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of the Most High and the power of the Hamashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. Right. And that's what these devils do, Edomites, because they're really our brothers. All right. Going back to Genesis, the 25th chapter, the old ancient vendetta between Jacob and Esau. And that's what you're seeing playing out. And that's what you've been seeing playing out, all right, since the beginning of time. All right, the accuser of our brethren is cast down, and really that's what that's what's going to happen to him, man. You know, he's already being cast down, even though he's trying to, you know, accuse us of being black extremists, and we have a propensity to violence. You know, they're still tracking the people, and still, you know, they say that we can still exercise our First Amendment, but they're looking at people who are supposedly violent. All right, and they accused us before the Most High day and night. Just another day, man, in the life of Jacob and Esau, man. Let's go back to the video. Yeah, he is the accuser, Esau, of his brethren, man. False accusations.
Any ideology domestically, the FBI would only be investigating if there were some indication.
Do you believe that there's a political movement in the country called Black Identity Extremism?
I don't believe the FBI intends that to encompass a particular political movement. What they do is they try to categorize different threats that they identify.
Right, so trying to categorize different threats, man. They're trying to put different groups in categories and saying that which groups are violent, which groups are non-violent. That's what they're saying, you know? And we know that we make that list, man. We know for a fact, all right, the Hebrew Israelites, all right, you know, groups starting with Great Millstone and these other Israelite groups, IUIC, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? But they look at the fervent, all right, work going out there on the highways and hedges, and they know that they're scared, man, and they're trying to you know, kick off their plan, but they're not going to do it.
Said investigate, but before you do an investigation, there's surveillance, correct?
Generally, no. There may need to be a determination first that there was a basis for an investigation, typically before any surveillance.
So how does that determination take place, and where has it taken place?
If you want details, I need to get back to you. But the FBI does have very strict guidelines, as you know. Several decades ago, there was quite a bit of controversy about this issue, and the FBI has very...
So, you know, they've been watching, man. All right, but they can't tell when and where they've been watching what they have. This is Psalms 10 and 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. Right, and there's been a lot of videos where okay, these Edomites have murdered Jakes, man. All right, in different in front of stores, you know, and it's been broadcast live on, I mean, all over. I should say that it's been broadcast all over YouTube, all over social media. Murders, man, of innocent people, man. You know, Jakes that are just really not doing much. You know, we know it's judgment, okay, for what these people do, but at the same time, all right, it seems to the naked eye that they're really not doing anything. His eyes are privily set against the poor, right? The wicked, the so-called white man. You know, he's against the poor. And who's the poor? Well, the Israelites, starting with the Negroes, the Hispanics, the Native Americans. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. Yeah, and that's what he does, man. They've been watching, all right, in the secret lurking places, man. They've been watching the internet. They've been watching the YouTube videos, all right. They send spies out to the camps, all right, to come in here. You know what I mean? You got people that walk by with cameras, all right, taking pictures of people in the camps. You know, we had that before where we've thought that we've been gotten
Strong's H 7568. Resheth.
As a trap for men, right? That's what that word net means. Rashath, all right, a trap for men, all right. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his trap for men. And that's what that's what it is, man. This black extremism report, it ain't nothing but a trap, man. This is Psalms. This is the book of Psalms 37. Let me get the verse 32. It says, the wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. Right. And that's what they're doing, man. They're watching the righteous and they're seeking to slay him, man. And that's really what this thing comes down to, because Esau ain't nothing but a murderer. All right. He's going to watch the righteous. Not watch the brothers. All right. Their videos. He's going to watch them continue to put, you know, group brothers into a black extremist group. You know what I mean? And we're not all black. You know, we got Hispanics. You got Native Americans in the groups. All right. And you know, he's just trying to implement his little document, all right, to alert law enforcement, government officials that, you know, if you see basically minorities, all right, they're violent, you know, because Esau ain't nothing but a pussy, man. All right, this Psalm 37 and 33. It says, Yahweh will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Right, and that's the faith of the saints, man. That the Lord is not going to leave us in the hand of what? The wicked when we are condemned and judged. All right. Let me continue in the video. Because this lady's asking them, when did you start investigating? And they're like, we haven't investigated. And then the lady's asking them, so then where'd you get this evidence, about black extremist group? What are you talking about? And he says that there's just groups out there that have propensity to violence that they know of, but he's just beating around the bush, not giving a straight answer. I'm gonna leave the link in the description so your brothers, whoever hasn't seen it. All right, if you see this video, go ahead and check it out so you can just catch it once, for yourself.
Detailed guidelines for when they initiate investigations, and I'm not aware of any departure from those guidelines.
So one thing that, and I am aware of the FBI's history from many years ago, COINTELPRO, and many people are looking at this document, Black Identity Extremism, as COINTELPRO too. One of the concerns that has been raised and that I raised with Attorney General Sessions and Director Wray is that this document, for whatever reason, was mass distributed to law enforcement offices around the country. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not.
So when we
Right. So what, in the hands of a white man, this document basically is just giving them the okay, or, to shoot, black people and look at Hispanics and minorities as a target. All right. Especially people who are have a propensity to violence. And the scriptures do speak about violence against the wicked. All right. The Lord is coming back to judge 2/3 of our people, the Israelites, and also these heathens, and ultimately this devil.
we talked to Director Wray, it wasn't clear how this term was even developed. In other words, what evidence was it based on to even come up with a term like that, and then to write a document about it, and then to distribute it to law enforcement around the country?
I don't know the answer to that, Congresswoman, but if it's of any reassurance, I've been in this job for 8 months. I haven't seen any indication that the FBI is approaching this in a biased way. They're conducting investigations where they believe the person who is the subject represents a potential threat, not simply because they believe in an ideology or associate with an ideology, but because they represent a particular threat. And I believe the FBI guidelines are designed specifically to ensure that there are no abuses.
So what I am hearing from activists around the country, in particular activists who were protesting law enforcement, police brutality or deaths at the hands of law enforcement, is that they're being visited by the FBI, that the FBI is leaving, business cards. And then what the concern about that is that if they do engage in a conversation with an FBI agent and perhaps make a mistake or maybe say something that isn't true, then they're vulnerable to be prosecuted for lying to a law enforcement officer. So,
see, so the FBI is harassing a lot of people, man, who they deem as threats, and definitely they're gonna deem the Israelites as a threat, because really, this is an old story, an old saga of good and evil, man. All right, the sons of the Most High versus the sons of the wicked. This is Ezekiel 35:1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And that's what we're doing. We're prophesying against what? Edom, which was in Mount Seir. Edom are the so-called biblical name for the so-called white man. Okay. 5th verse, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Okay, and they have a perpetual hatred, man, because they cannot see. All right, the Israelites come back on their feet because they hate, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Right, they have shed the blood of the children of Israel, man, by the force of the sword. And they, sword is a killing instrument. And even today, they kill Israel, Jakes, blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. All right. It says, therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh, the Most High, I will prepare thee unto blood. And that's what's happening. Because really, this is all the Lord's movie, man. So they can write up their documents and say that there's black extremist groups that are rising and are perpetually have a propensity to violence. They can do whatever they want, man. But the Lord's preparing them for the okie doke, man. You know, it says, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right. So really, these devils, they're going to get put to death, man. You know, there's going to be a lot of the scriptures say that these devils, man, they're not promised any mercy, man. Okay, out of all the heathen, all right, they've had a perpetual hatred. This guy can't even answer a question right. This lady got him through the Spirit. The Lord really had this lady really just, you know, cut this guy up in this this FBI agent, okay, on his black extremist document.
So the activists that have received visits by the FBI have never been involved in violence at all. Are you aware of that happening in any of your offices around the country?
No.
Let me just express another concern about this.
Right, that's perpetual hatred. Okay, so there is no group that is really have gone against the so-called white man like that, because you know the scriptures say, wait for me until we rise up to the prey. Okay, so you know, no Israelite group that you know has really did anything to any law enforcement or anybody. All right, because really they're scared of what Jake can do to them. All right, so what they're gonna do is they're just putting this report out there to just make so-called blacks look bad. Okay, minorities look bad so they can roll on them later. This is all in the scriptures, man, what they really want to do.
When a document that doesn't seem to have any scientific basis, that develops a category called black identity extremism that nobody can say whether or not it really exists, when you send a document like that to law enforcement around the country, in some places I will worry that they will take that to say that anytime there is a officer involved shooting and then there is a protest, that the people that protest might be black identity extremists.
Congressman, to the best of my knowledge, the FBI is not investigating people who are peacefully protesting. As I said, having read that document, I'll review it.
This guy's obviously lying.
I would appreciate it if you would, and if there is no basis for this term, that then the FBI take the step to retract the document.
Right. If you can't find no evidence that there's anybody being violent against law enforcement or white people in general, then they need to take that document and just do away with it. But they're not going to do that, because ultimately what they want to do, it's written in the scriptures, and I'm gonna get it. This is 2 Ezra 16. And this is 2 Ezra 16 and 70, because this is what they really want to do. It says, for there shall be in every place and the next cities a great insurrection. All right, because they know that really this all stems to the Israelites are on their feet, okay, and they're preaching the downfall of Esau in his majestic, his kingdom, his throne upon earth, his him being the hammer of the earth. All right, it's coming to an end. It's all prophecy, and they know, these devils know that the Lord's coming back to save the elect of Israel. All right, it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection. All right, there's going to be a violent uprising, civil disorder, and what they're trying to do is alert all law enforcement, all government officials, that black people are on the rise, okay, including Latinos and Native Americans. It's for sure, it's in the document. It says, upon those that fear the Lord. All right, so basically they're targeting all Jake, but really they're looking at the elect. They're looking at the brothers that are pushing this truth hard, okay, the ones that go hard, and they're afraid, man. It says they shall be like madmen, sparing none, and that's really what they're going to do. They're not going to spare no one, because when this martial law kicks off, this civil disorder, the civil unrest, they're going to come into people's houses and start to spoil their houses, man. They're going to take their goods, all right, and because by that time the government's going to declare martial law and shut this shit down. All right, and they're going to be spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. And when you go into that word spoiling, it goes into let me get it real quick. Because really, when this devil rolls, like the scriptures say in Isaiah 59:19, it says, "And he shall come in like a flood," man. All right. So when he comes in like a flood, man, the civil unrest is going to be already kicking off, man. He's going to spoil those that fear the Lord, and part of being spoiled is harm the character. All right, harm the character, man. They're going to want to slander you on the 6 o'clock news, man. You know, they're going to want to take your goods. They're going to want to take you out of your house because you believe in the Lord and you make videos and you go out to the highways and hedges. It says, "For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire." All right. So it's going to be known in that day. All right. Certain brothers that get taken, okay, you know, out of their houses, or at 4 a.m. when the devil comes and kicks you down your door and arrests you and puts your face all over the news, you know, if there's even electricity at that time. All right. It's going to be known who's the chosen, because they're going to, you know, the Lord's he's going to make it manifest, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. So it's going to be a fiery trial that you're going to go through. All right. And you can read about that in the book of Isaiah. You know, the Lord's not going to leave us, man. Scriptures say that. And we believe it. It says, Isaiah 59:19, it says, "So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun." Right, from the west, man. All right, here in the Western Hemisphere, and his glory from the rising of the sun. That's from the east. The sun rises in the east and sets on the west. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, right? The enemy's going to come. He's coming. And this is the beginning stages with these stupid documents. All right. It says, "The Lord, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him." All right. So the Lord's going to back him up, man, by either giving his men spiritual power or you know, taking out his electricity. Okay. He's going to be crippled in that day, because the Lord's going to lift up a standard against him, man. It says, "And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob." Right, the Redeemer, who's that? That's Yahweh shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression. So you got to repent, turn from your sins, man. Say it, Yahweh. Okay, so that's what this is about, man. Okay, this is what these devils want to do, man. The accuser of their brethren, man. You know, it's nothing new. All right, but the Lord's going to lift up a standard against them, man. All right, so the Lord, you know, the scriptures say right before he fills his belly, man, you know, he's going to be cast down. He's going to be in straits, man. You know. All right, so we need not to fear, man, but to what? Turn from transgression in Jacob. You know, say it, Yahweh, man. You got to stay close to the Lord. Stay in the spirit, brothers. Stay glued to the word. You know, and brothers need to stick together, man, in these last days, man, because this is what all we got. You know, so they got their black extremism document. We got these videos. We got this truth while we can. All right, Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Stay safe, Akim. All right, Shalom.